boards early, and Lockridge makes the pay. Fagan will chase it down and put it back in. Sanaya Fagan with 2 more.
Hello and welcome to the Perth High Performance Centre, where the Perth Links host the Adelaide Lightning in a Saturday night clash that will have big ramifications on the WNBL ladder. The Lynx are on the rebound from a shock 3-point loss to the Caps last week, while the Lightning have lost 5 in a row as they aim to get back on the winners list and generate some momentum in the back end of the season. Jess Webster with you on commentary tonight alongside 2-time champion Beck Cole and former WNBL Coach of the Year Laurie Chiswick. Beck and Laurie, great to have you both here tonight. Perth, they're looking to get back on the winners list after a shock loss last week.
They sure are. Obviously, Adelaide, like you said, Jess, they need a W in that column. But then you're coming up against Perth Links, who were one of the upsets last round, losing to the Canberra Capitals. And if I'm the other team, that makes me nervous because we know Ryan Petrick and that team are ready to bounce back.
Well, they are, and it's almost like you don't want to poke the bear, do you? Because they will be fired up and ready to go. And they're on their home court again. They had a good success against Adelaide just a week ago on their home court. So they will want to show their fans and their support everything that they can bring.
They'll be keen to bounce back in front of a big home crowd tonight. Well, let's head straight into the Perth Links camp and get some insight. Sarah Naquama, our courtside reporter tonight, caught up with with Ali Wilson a few moments ago.
Ali, back home, how good? Obviously on the back of last week's narrow loss, what were some key takeaways from review this week?
Yeah, definitely not how we wanted to play last week, so there's a few things that we want to clean up. Offensively, just our attention to detail in our offences and what shots we want to take and what shots we don't want to take, and I think rebounding as well.
Speaking of rebounding, you have one of the best in your team in Annalee Maley. Last week in the press conference, she said about the Lynx starting with intensity. What does that actually look like from a player's perspective from tip-off?
Yeah, I think that in the last few games we've been giving up a lot of offensive rebounds in the first quarter, and you know, because Maley's so great, I think we just expect her to get everything, but that's not how it works. So us other 4 need to do a better job of getting in there and rebounding and helping her out as well.
Another player in form is your teammate Alex Chibatoni, but there's something about playing against Adelaide where she really takes her game to the next level. What is it?
I think she's from Adelaide, so I think she likes playing against her hometown, so I think that might be why, but yeah, she's having a great season all round, and hopefully she has another good one for us again tonight.
Well, I'm certainly excited to see you girls back in action here on your home court. Good luck tonight.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to Sarah and Ali. Well, Laurie, not only are Adelaide coming up against Perth on the rebound, but they are coming up against Alex Chibatoni, who, as Sarah alluded to, loves playing against the Lightning. In her 3 matches this season, she's averaged 26 points against them.
Well, I think in one interview, the teammates came up and said, we love Adelaide Chibatoni. And that's right, because in the 3 games, 23 points, 32 points, 25 points, just something about playing against that side really suits her. And she's going to want to play that way tonight, and I'm sure she's looking forward to this matchup.
Let's head now to the Adelaide Lightning camp. Dallas Lockridge, she's having a great season, averaging the 16 points, 3.5 rebounds and 4 assists, and she also spoke with Sarah.
Dallas, welcome to Perth. You've been having an unbelievable season so far. What has unlocked that next level for you?
I think honestly the bigger opportunity, and I think I've just came in and tried to keep playing my style of play and just come and try to play confident and do what I can do for the team.
It's really starting to show. Tonight you're going up against a pretty hectic guard rotation in Atwell, Chibatoni as well as Wilson, but you've definitely got the goods. Are you excited for that challenge?
I mean, yeah, it's always good to play. The league's such a strong league, so it's always fun to play each game, and Perth are a great team and they've got great guards, so it'll be a good matchup.
Tonight is expected to be a packed home. What are you hoping that Perth fans will be able to see of your team?
I think, you know, last game we obviously didn't go the way that we wanted to, I guess. So I think we need to play aggressive, play good defense and execute on offense.
Well, cannot wait to see you in action. Good luck tonight.
Perfect, thanks.
18 points and 6 assists in their 14-point loss to Townsville last week for Dallas Lockridge, who is having a fabulous season. It's a massive challenge for the Adelaide Lightning tonight. They're coming up against the Perth Links, who are hunting for a top 2 position and also wanting to rebound after a shock loss last week. The atmosphere is building over at the Perth High Performance Centre, so let's check in courtside with our 4-time Super W champion, Sarah Naquama. Hello, Sarah.
Hello, Jess, and good evening, ladies. Things here at the Perth High Performance Centre are certainly starting to ramp up. It is obvious 2 teams are coming here on the back of a loss, and they're so keen to rectify their performance confidence from last week, really. We know that Perth Links are favourites, but the door to finals is still very much open, and I think that leaves a lot of anticipation and a lot of heat to be expected. So tonight's going to be intense, tonight's going to be physical, and you know, when it comes to finals time, well, when you're on the brink of it, it's actually anyone's game. So back to you, Jess. I'm excited for this one.
Absolutely, Sarah. Looking forward to your contributions tonight. Looking forward to a great battle. The starting fives on your screen: Chipotoni, Atwell, Wilson, Maley and Shue for Perth, Lockridge, Talbot, Rabadi, Fagan and Whitaker for the Lightning. And Beck, Sanaya Fagan really is the key to Adelaide's success. In their 3 wins this season, she's averaged 20 points in those wins. So she needs to get going tonight if they're a chance.
Sure does. She can be such a big impact on the game. And last time they played, she had the 15 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists and 2 steals in 28 minutes. So can't wait to see what she can bring in tonight's game.
So here we go. We're underway. Over in the west, Perth taking on Adelaide. Immediately, Shue feeds Maley for the first bucket of the night.
Well, that's going to happen all night if they're going to double team Shue, because she is able to have such great vision. If she's double, she's a good passer. Adelaide Maley won't find herself that open, hopefully, the rest of the game.
30 points and 15 rebounds for Han Shue in their loss to the Caps last week. But that rebound count, Laurie, is something that's really impressive. Doubled her season average.
Well, it was like she really, something went off and she said, I'm going to do some rebounding like I can. And she was really instrumental. And I really thought they could have used her even more at the later stages of the game just to try and get us some good inside looks, because she was on fire.
She is firing it out to Talbot, who misfires for 3. Atwell down the other end, doesn't make any mistake.
And a tough shot. And what I really like about Atwell this season, Laurie, she's getting 2 feet inside the paint more. And when she gets going early through penetration, her shots become easier and her percentage goes up.
Lockridge working on Maley. Back to Whitaker, the mid-season recruit. Now to Fagan. Puts it up over Han Shue. Needs a touch. Rabadi fighting half of the rebound, but it does fall to Wilson, who hands it off to Maley, who'll take it down the floor.
And we know Perth like to play at a fast pace. We can see Annalise Maley pushing the ball, probing, looking inside.
Shue puts one up. Nothing but that.
And Han Shue is capable from any range. She's inside, she's really proficient. The long 2, the mid-range that we just saw, and we know that she can score from the 3-point line.
Sees part for Lockridge. That one bobbles in.
Last time they played, Perth was significantly more efficient from inside the arc and the free throw line. So Adelaide will want to make adjustments in this game, and early on, Han Shue's looking good.
These 2 sides played just last Friday night. That was also in Perth. Shue gets another bucket.
I liked how Chibotoni just hung on to the ball just for an extra few seconds to make sure that Han Shue had good positioning, was ready to catch the ball, and then made the pass.
6-point lead to Perth. Early stages, first term. Rabadi the wicketer. New Zealand import. It's denied by Shue.
And that's why she's equal first in blocks in the league, and she's sending out invitations left, right and centre to her block party so far this season.
Wow,
Lockridge to Rabadi. He needs a bucket for the Lightning.
Well executed out of bounds play. I love that when you see that.
Maley running downhill, gets fouled on her way through and says hello to the crowd as well.
And we all know how good the Lynx are in offensive transition. And it starts with ball pickup. You can't allow them to go from the backcourt, throw it all the way up. And then we see Maley here. We know she's always going to take it to the basket. Yeah. She does a great job attacking the rim and getting herself to the line.
Well, the beauty about Annalise Maley is that she can get her rebound, which we know she's so proficient at, getting the rebounds, and then she can push it up the floor the whole way herself. She's not looking to pass it. She has got good handles and can go all the way.
She's in such fine form, averaging the 14 points, 14 rebounds. 82% free throw shooter this season. Is she in MVP contention, do we think, Annalise Maley?
I think she'd have to be talked about it, because I just feel to be so consistent in your rebounding, game in and game out. And she's the 3rd best scorer or 4th best scorer on their team. She's just been had a really great, solid season. We can can see her here rebounding the ball and being able to bring it up and get her feet in the paint.
Of course, she has already won an MVP back in the 2021-22 season. Perth by 6. Talbot, too much on it.
And that was great defense by Ali Wilson. Hands straight up. Talbot tried the Euro step, but she just stayed with her. So great stop in that possession.
Lockridge to inbound. Hands to Tofeono. Shares it with Fagan. Back to Lockridge. Through the hands of Rabati. Tofeono, Talbot. Shot clock ticking down. Rabati is blocked by Atwell. Defensive prowess on show for the Lynx early. A couple of blocks. Now Maley up the other end. Can't make them pay. Perth still up by 6. Lockridge, feet set, fires for 3, and it goes in.
It's a nice start for Dallas Lockridge, having the confidence to stop and prop. There wasn't a hand up, she wasn't contested.
Shoe over the top to Maley. Can't get the roll.
Oh, she'd be disappointed in that. Great curl cut, really strong curl cut and a nice pass.
Lockridge hands it off. Tofeono can't get the finish. Atwell with the rebound. Wilson, step back 3 is good.
Ali Wilson getting in on that action. She's so quick in her shot release, and you think that she's not going to shoot it, and she will. And she's finding herself in some really good form entering into these final series, and that's exactly what her team needs from her.
Check it all out on the Amy replay. This is Dallas Lockridge.
We love when we open the bank, don't we, Laurie?
Yeah.
We saw a couple earlier in our previous game.
And we know what, you know, especially Perth, when they get hot, there's so many scorers. Everybody on this starting lineup can shoot the 3.
Ali Wilson looks to go to Morris. Too much on the pass, and it goes out of play.
Do you think she thought that maybe Han Shu was still on the court and she just had to get it in the vicinity?
Pop it up in the air. Han Shu can do the rest.
Yeah.
Brazel into the action for the Lightning. So too Strawbridge, who hands it off to Lockridge. Now looks to make a move. Can't get the finish. Morris with the rebound. Wilson takes on Lockridge. Gets the contact on her way through.
That's the strength of Ali Wilson, is that she's such a tall guard. She's got good speed, good explosiveness. She's strong, and so to take it at Dallas is a good result, because when it comes down to it, she can shoot over her.
There's no better way to show your club loyalty this WNBL season than repping your favourite player's jersey, but also don't miss your chance to catch a game live this summer. It's the perfect chance to get to a game packed out with energy, atmosphere, and unforgettable moments. So scan the QR code on your screen now and visit WNBL.com.au to find a game near you and get your tickets.
And we see Perth up in their full court press, normally going back to that 1-3-1 zone that we're used to. And because they're so long and athletic, Laurie, it really just clogs up the paint and makes it hard to get entry passes or pass it in there in general and get up stops. And Whitaker was called for the 3 seconds in the key.
Well, it was a really good zone look. There was lots of talk. There was lots of passing players off. There was somebody had a hand at every shooter. So that was a really good result. And it really looked like Adelaide weren't quite sure what to do in that instance.
4 minutes to go on the third. Perth up by 7. Wilson misfires for 3, but Maley cleans it up.
She's just so good. She has a work rate of about 3 different people inside that body of hers, and you just know that she's giving 110% every single game, but every single possession.
Coach Aja Paramamar from Adelaide has seen enough. Has called a timeout here in the first quarter. Perth 16, Adelaide 7. Well, both of our coaches tonight, Ryan Petrick and Aja Paramamar, caught up with Sarah pre-game. This is what they had to say.
Play hard. Yeah, we're struggling to play hard for 40 minutes, and it's a big goal of ours. We've done well at it at practice. We've looked at ourselves on video, and it's really just compete every possession.
We just need to be better. We didn't execute very well at all. Part of that clearly was Canberra, and Canberra were really, really good. And part of us just simply not getting some very simple X and O's right.
So there you have it from the coaches. Aja Paramamar just wants to see them play hard and compete. And Ryan Petrick, well, they didn't execute against the Cats, Beck and Laurie. What have you noticed is the difference between that game to this game in the early stages of this first quarter? Because they're up on the scoreboard comfortably.
For me, Laurie, it's shot selection. In that game against Canberra, they were rushing a few shots, also doing some turnovers that was very unlike them. And right now, for me, they're having a great balance of offensive transition and then executing their offense.
Well, and they're getting it through hands. They're shifting the defense, and as you said, their shot selection has been really good. And Adelaide, I like the message from the coach that you need to have energy. You need to play hard all game. Because the bottom line is that if you go hard and you hustle and you give it your best and you lose, you can still hold your head high. It's when you get out-hustled and you don't show pride in what you're doing, then those are the losses that are hard to swallow.
Sarah Nakwama was around the Adelaide huddle that last time out. Sarah, what did you hear?
It was all words from Coach Aja. She said there was not enough movement on the offense. And when you just look at the upper hand and the pace in which the Lynx are playing with, there is quite a difference. So hopefully we can see in these closing 3 minutes a lot more movement from Adelaide Lightning.
So let's see what they can manufacture here. Fagan getting into the contest.
I feel like that's the first time Fagan's really been involved in any sort of offensive execution, and a really nice finish from her.
And she's someone who is so impactful. So if you can get the ball into her, she might not score it all the time, but she's drawing attention. Then it's up to her teammates to make sure they have cutters, they relocate on the three-point line, because she's a great passer outside of the post too.
Well, and she's leading the team with points at 17.7. So, you know, she needs the ball in her hands to be able to score that many points.
And shooting at an amazing 51%.
Yeah.
So it shows she's shooting the right shots too.
Perth by 7. Talbot nowhere to go, hands it off to Lockridge. Trying to step around Maley, puts it up, but it's no good. Wilson off to Maley, running downhill, takes on Fagan, who says, not today. Let's take another look at it. Read her like a book.
She did. And Annalie knew that when she got up with a wry little smile on her face.
Good competitiveness shown by those two. Can't shoot, back onto the floor.
And this is what happened last time Adelaide came up against Perth, is Whittaker is doing as much as she can to be physical with Shu, but unfortunately she got in some foul trouble last game, and hence why she's going to the bench right now to take a breather.
Wilson to inbound to Shu, gives it back to Wilson, wants to give it back to Shu, double team goes out of play, and it's going to be Adelaide possession. And Shu pleading her case. And it has been reversed. Don't see that all too often, but
Allie Wilson was just stepping on the baseline regardless of what the call was. She was ready to take it out of bounds.
Still having some discussion about it. It does look like it will be Perth possession.
I think the shot clock probably needs to go down a little bit now. It wasn't an offensive rebound or anything. They've got to adjust the shot clock if the possession is to go with Perth.
Another great crowd in attendance tonight in the Perth High Performance Centre. You see their team bounce back to the winners list tonight, continue their quest for a top 2 finish. They'd won 7 in a row prior to that loss against the Caps last week. Shoot, rolls out, Wilson!
What a putback by Wilson. Great read on the offensive rebound.
She's up to 6 points in this first quarter. Perth stretch their lead to 8. Lockridge hands it off to Fagan. To Lockridge in the corner for 3, knocks it down.
What Dallas Lockridge did there, which was great, is she continued to move. So her feet were in the paint, and she didn't just stand, and she moved, got herself into a position, to shooting position, was ready to catch the ball.
Sure, over the top to Gorman, works the baseline, kicks it out to Wilson, fast hands into the corner for Graham, shot clock ticking down. It's a travel, good defense from Adelaide. Coach Aja Paramamar working the sidelines, wanting to see some effort and intensity from her side tonight. Trail Perth by 6 into the final 2 minutes of this first quarter. Brazel hands it off to Rabati. Now to the skipper Talbot. To eject herself. Off to Lockridge in the corner. Take 2. The same result. Rabati with the rebound. Keeps it alive for Brazel. Swings it out to Fagan. Muscles her way inside. She loses the ball. It's going to be with Perth.
Really good help by Alex Ciabattoni, just a little jab in. She was defending the Dallas Lockridge in the corner, but it was enough to put Fagan off or drive to the basket.
Ciabattoni off to Maley. To Gorman, to Ciabattoni. To Gorman. It's no good. There's a foul as Maley and Rabati just tangled.
And Rabati's come into this game with effort on both ends. Again, matching up against Maley is no easy task, but she's been trying to battle out down that end of the floor. She's got a couple of offensive rebounds. I like the energy that she's giving to the Lightning.
Ciabattoni to Maley, bounces off the rim. Ciabattoni cleans it up for her first bucket of the night. As we mentioned pre-game, she loves playing against the Lightning. She's averaged 26 points in their 3 games against Adelaide so far this season. Rabati fires for 3, it's no good.
Well,
Russell with the rebound.
Sorry, Ryan Petrick talked about cleaning up the boards, the offensive rebounds, and they've given away a few.
Lockridge off to Brazel. Bounces out. Final 20 seconds. Perth by 8. Ciabattoni calling the shots. Waiting to run the play. Now she goes for it, a little fumble. Oh, Graham on the buzzer. Not quite, but a strong start to the Perth Links in front of their home crowd tonight. At quarter time, they lead the Adelaide Lightning 20-12.
Perth Airport dancers, and we want to keep it going as well. We need to make some noise, especially if you're on the cam. If you want a free t-shirt, make some noise next to your local Ford dealer.
Keep it going, we're looking for loud people, somewhere in here.
Big thank you to your local Ford dealer. Oh, we know you can make a lot of noise, and make sure you keep that energy up for Q2. On the board, Lynx start, let's make it a big quarter.
Welcome back to the Perth High Performance Centre. At quarter time, the Lynx 20 lead the Adelaide Lightning at 12. Jess Webster with you in commentary tonight alongside two-time champion Beck Cole, former WNBL Coach of the Year Laurie Chiswick, and four-time Super W champion Sarah Naquama is courtside for us tonight. Sarah, you were around the Perth huddle at quarter time. What were the key messages?
The words are coming from the head coach, Ryan Petrick, and his message was simple: keep pressing. It is suffocating the offense of Adelaide Lightning. Also worth noting, in the first quarter, Adelaide Lightning were fouled 4 times to Perth Links 0. So there's a bit of pressure, and they're certainly starting to feel it, and it's becoming so apparent on the scoreboard, even in the second quarter.
Yeah, thanks, Sarah. Ominous signs. All 5 starters for Perth hit the scoreboard in the opening quarter, Beck and Laurie. So you don't want that to happen if you're the Adelaide Lightning.
No, and that's what makes them so hard to guard. You have to almost pick your poison when it comes to Perth Links. Even the girls who come off the bench, they're all such prolific scorers. Who do you want to shut down and let score? It's a tough matchup.
Well, they, across the regular season so far, as we see Han Shu just going to the basket and missing one that she would normally make, 5 of their players, their 5 starters, all average in double figures across the course of the season. So that is tough to defend.
Lockridge draws the contact.
And one big thing to note, Steph Talbot, who has been doing it all areas so far this season, averaging the 15.5 points as we see Dallas get to the foul line here. 4.5 assists, 6.5 rebounds. She is 0-0-0 at the quarter time break, and she's definitely someone from the Lightning who, she's their leader, she's their experienced player, but she needs to get going, and Lightning need to look to run some plays to her as well to help them chip away at this scoreline.
Ali Wilson, Annalie Maley, 6 each in the first quarter. Han Shu, 4 points. Atwell and Shibatoni, the 2 each. For Adelaide, Lockridge takes their tally to 9 points thanks to those free throws. Rabadi with the 2 and Fagan with the 2 as well.
That was just smart by Ali Wilson. She had a pass fake inside to Han Shu, which causes the defense to collapse a little bit. Then she was able to skip it, and, you know, that's just a good look.
Wilson hands it off to Atwell, up and in for 2. Uncharacteristic night for Amy Atwell against the Caps, just the 4 points in their 3-point loss last week. Talbot in the corner, just what you asked for, Beck. She's into the game.
And she shot the 3 ball really well last time they played Perth, and like we said, she's a big part of what they do, versatile player. Definitely need to get some more looks at for her.
19.6 rebounds in their 14-point loss to Townsville last week.
With Talbot, though, it's something that she needs to take responsibility for. So she needs to have, and she's talked about this herself, the mindset of being a little bit, you know, selfish and demanding the ball, getting the ball, and being a little bit more aggressive. But we see Amy Atwell there coming off a pin down screen, and just no problem with her having the confidence to shoot it.
There's Talbot again. Some more points for her. Lovely move. Well, Beck, as a former captain yourself, like, how do you navigate those challenges of being the skipper and feeling like, you know, how much do I have to do myself? How can I get other people around me? It certainly is a balance, isn't it?
Oh, it sure is. Yes, you have to lead your team, but this is a team sport. I don't think it's only up to one person. It does take a few of you to get everything going, humming, checking in on each other. But when it comes to on the court, it's a team game, and you have to know, especially with her being in such a young squad, and her resume, she can really demand that ball, like you said, Laurie.
It doesn't matter if when it's your time to go, it's your time to go.
Well, sometimes I think you have to almost create your own shots too. So if things aren't happening for your team, you've got to get the ball in your hand. You've got to call for a screen and run off a pick and roll, and not just be a spectator. You have to be the one to be involved.
Talbot's already got 5 points in this second quarter, and they've closed to within 5 of Perth. Led by the 8 at quarter time. Shibatoni trying to work it to Wilson, but it was read by Fagan, who takes it down the floor. What should do here? Handing it off. Tried to hand it off to Lockridge in the corner. Just missed her.
Those are the things that, for both teams, we saw a turnover at each end there that you want to, as a coach, you focus, because those aren't forced turnovers. Those are just, as you'd say in tennis, unforced turnovers that you aren't caused by the defense playing great. You need to make sure you're avoiding those.
Shoot. Dribbles contact. So hard to defend. She's absolutely wonderful against the Cats. 30 points, 15 rebounds last week. Well, there's no better way to show your club loyalty this WNBL season than repping your favourite player's jersey. Whether you're in the stands or watching from home, you can wear it with pride. Check out this season's full range of club merch now at WNBLstore.com.au. Averaging 19 points, 7.5 rebounds per game for Hanshu. It's her 9th appearance since joining the club mid-season. Hasn't skipped a beat since she made her debut.
Well, she hasn't, and you know, we keep talking about her points. She's 3rd in the competition, and her ability to rebound. So we can see a really good isolation from Steph Talbot. But Hanshu, the thing I like about her is that it's like having somebody at home base all the time ready to block shots, change shots, especially if she's guarding somebody like Whitaker, who's not a prolific three-point shooter. So she just sags off in the key and says, okay, I'm going to leave you out there, but if anybody drives in, I'm here to protect the rim.
Shibatoni for 2.
Well, Shibatoni was quiet in the first half, but seems to have come to life in the second half.
Up to 6 points now. Searching for that 26-point average she has over the Lightning this season. Lockridge to Whitaker to Talbot. Works her way inside.
Wow, that was strong.
Strong move.
And just a great, aggressive 2 feet in the paint, spin moved. That was tough, but Steph Talbot's really come to life in this second quarter.
Shoe misfires. Just 3 rebounds for Adelaide Bailey at the moment. Wilson leading that statistic with 6 for the Lynx, alongside 6 points. Lockridge, first player in double digits tonight. She's on 10 points. Lockridge takes it down the floor to Fayono. To Whitaker. Work it into the corner. Strawbridge for 3, rattles out. Adelaide ball.
Let's go.
Can see that Perth were in a zone on that out of bounds play, baseline out of bounds. Gorman and Morris coming into the game now.
Talbot in the corner. She has has come alive in this second quarter.
Well, she has, and she needed to, so it's good to see that she recognized it, her teammates recognized it, and you know, it's only a 4-point game right now. It feels like Perth have had more of the ascendancy, but Adelaide are doing a great job of sticking with them.
They get a stop. Lockridge to Whitaker. To the corner. Topiano looks to go back to Whitaker. Topiano, they keep it alive. And another 3-ball goes down, this time from Strawbridge. And Adelaide have clawed to within a point of Perth here in the second quarter.
And that's the difference as well. They're going inside to outside. So they're not just coming down, swinging it, not entering through penetration or passing. They're getting there through passing the ball inside and then finding their outside shooters.
Halfway through this second quarter, Perth now by just a point after they led by 8 at quarter time. So a good run on here with Adelaide Lightning to start the second. Talbot's injected herself into the game. She had a 0 stat line at quarter time, but she's put on 10 points in this second quarter. Lockridge is also on the 10 points. Wilson, Shu and Maley, the 6 each for the Perth Links.
I sort of feel that Perth went into cruise control. They just sort of lost their, you know, their aggressiveness and the pace that they were playing at. And Adelaide, to their credit, took full advantage of that. And Steph Talbot specifically really went on a tear in those first 5 minutes of the second quarter.
So Adelaide have the momentum here in the second quarter as they look for their first victory against Perth this season after losing their last 3 games against the Lynx. They're a point behind at the moment as we head courtside to Sarah.
Thanks, Jess. I was standing behind the Lightning huddle and the words were simple: move, move, move. The Perth Links they've identified don't want to move as quickly as they do. So you can see that was such a comeback in that second quarter, and the difference was their ability to move fast on the offensive end.
Thanks, Sarah. Gorman goes for it from deep. It's no good, so possession back to Adelaide. Oh, well done, Gorman. Makes amends at the defensive end, steals it away, pulls up for 3. It's no good. Graham cleans it up, though, and hands it off to Maley. Now she pulls the trigger, and that one drops in. Lockridge off to Talbot. Whitaker back to Talbot. Now she looks to go to Topiano. Whitaker, way off target. Morris cleans it up. Perth by 4. Maley running downhill, hands it into the corner. Gorman to Graham. Now she works her way inside, off the left. Didn't get the finish she was after. Talbot to Lockridge. Now takes on Maley off the right. Also no good. Whitaker, strong rebound.
And both teams getting a lot of second chance opportunities off those offensive rebounds. So something both teams need to clean up.
Talbot into the corner for Whitaker. Wide open, feet set. Oh, good. A chance has gone begging from both sides in these last few moments. Adelaide keeps it alive. Gorman fires for 3. It's no good.
So the last couple of times down the court, Perth have gone one pass shot, so they haven't shifted the defense. Adelaide have been able to get the rebound comfortably and now look in control right now.
Topiano overcooks it.
And that's where against the Capitals it became a close game, and they're the sort of shots Ryan Petrick was talking about in just regards to that execution. And we always know when you've done that a few times and they haven't gone in, that's when you need to pull the ball out and execute an offense.
Next bucket's worth its weight in gold.
It is, exactly.
Talbot can't provide. Morris, a little fumble, but gathers in time. Perth 2 from 10 from 3-point range. Adelaide 5 from 18. Maley draws the contact. So Perth still have 4, 2.5 to play in the second. We're going to head to another timeout. No, we're not. Just going to have a few changes.
Just some subs are made maybe for these last 2.5 minutes. Just inject some energy out there.
We had Bailey thinking that wasn't going to go in the hole, but it did, so we'll take it. There's some good mics picking up that.
1 from 2 on the line for Adelaide Bailey. She's 82% free throw shooter so far this season, to go along with her average of 16 points, 14 rebounds. Sorry, 14 points, 14 rebounds.
To me, that's an amazing stat, 14 points, 14 rebounds to average over the course of a season.
Perth 33, Adelaide 27. Good strong quarter from Adelaide. Lockridge. It's no good.
You might have thought that Anna Lee would have less rebounds given Han Shu was in the lineup, but she still seems to continue to be able to come up with them.
Shu rolls out.
And Fagan still only with the 2 points, Laurie. Perth have done a good job on her, but maybe it's the same thing with Talbot. Get the ball in your hands, call for it, and attack, because again, she's someone they really need on the scoreboard.
That was a foul on Rabati, just being a little bit overly aggressive with setting her screen.
Shu misfires. Maddie Freer had a handle on it, but didn't quite maintain possession long enough. Shu to the corner for Matwell, opens the door for Atwell to fire.
Look at the hustle from Anna Lee Maley. She has thrown her body on the ground 2 possessions in a row to help get the ball back for her team.
Loves the hustle, does Anna Lee Maley.
That's the 5th team foul on the Lightning. So for the rest of the quarter, Perth will be going to the foul line.
Undone a bit of their hard work here in the second quarter. Adelaide, they got to within a point. Perth have regained control. They need to turn down our sound effect mics, perhaps, when Maley's at the line. 1 from 2 for Adelaide. 12 points, 6 rebounds for Maley so far tonight. Final minute of the first half. Lockridge pops it over the top to Fagan. Brazel from deep. Just what a side needed. Chippertoni runs it down the floor. Atwell on the Maley, back to Atwell. Now to Shu. Oh, some nice little battle between Lockridge and Wilson as we check out the Amy replay.
And this is where you get the ball inside to Fagan. She draws 2 or 3 players, and that's why Brazel gets the open 3. So it's not just about getting her the ball for her to score, but like we've said, she's a great facilitator.
And the other thing is, too, is that if she gets her feet in the paint, then kicks it out and there's a shot, she's there for an O board as well, or to try and at least get a hand to tap it out to her teammates. So she's in a great position.
Some steady free throws from Allie Wilson. And now we're going to head to a timeout with 37 seconds left in the second quarter. Perth 36, Adelaide 30. Maley with the 12 points leading the way for Perth. Talbot and Lockridge on the 10 each for Adelaide, but just as Adelaide were coming, Perth have responded here in the second. And you feel like Adelaide Adelaide just let themselves down at their offensive end a little bit. Just a few shots went begging.
Yeah, just not a whole lot of execution. A few missed outside three-point shot attempts. But it's only 6 points. This is a great margin when you're in Perth away from home. If they can keep this margin or chip away in the last couple of possessions, then they can go back at halftime, work on the things and talk about what they need to improve on and come out. Because it has been a bit scrappy from both teams, but they're both hustling. They're both giving effort.
And Adelaide would be well aware that Canberra upset them last week in the last round, so they will take confidence from that. And I think Perth just need to, like I say, they just seem to lack a little bit of energy.
Or killer instinct, perhaps.
Killer instinct or whatever, relentlessness, whatever word you want to use. It's just that they're lacking it. You can see the crowd trying to get them into it. Get a stop here.
So what have we got in the last 30 seconds? Perth by 6. Talbot to Lockery, they work it into the corner. Brazel can't get it done. Another rebound to Maley.
Now they should go for one shot and one shot only.
Tony with ball in hand. Seconds are ticking down. Now she goes for it. Hands it off to Maley. Thought about the 3, takes on Talbot instead. Puts it up for 2 on the buzzer. Spin cycle. And at halftime, the Perth Links lead the Adelaide Lightning 38-30. It was the same margin at quarter time, but a great quarter from both sides. Adelaide got within a point before Perth steadied late and head into the main break with a little buffer. Adelaide, of course, played here just last Friday night and went down by 18 points to the Lynx. So they'll be pleased with how they've come out to play here tonight in the opening half. So many fans in the house here watching Hans Shu in action as we head courtside to Sarah Naquama, who's with Alex Chipotoni.
Chippa, what an incredible first half. It's been a pretty scrappy affair. How does it feel out there?
Yeah, look, it's rough. We knew it would be a good game and we knew they'd come out hard. You know, we played them a few weeks ago and it was tough. And yeah, they're doing a really good job of like getting good shots and getting us out of our stuff. So it's been tough out there.
It certainly looks like it. As it stands, the Perth Links are 8 points ahead of Adelaide Lightning. What is the key to steadying things in the second half?
I think we just have to keep executing. They did a good job of getting us out of our stuff there at times. And when we made it, like when we could play through that, we looked good. And just those 1%ers, like a few O boards, loose balls, things like that, that we can tidy up.
Well, go well in the second half. I'll let you get back in there to rest up with your team.
Perfect, thank you.
Thanks, Chippa. Back to you, Jess.
Thanks, Sarah, and thanks also to Alex Chipotoni for her time as she runs into the sheds at halftime. Here, the Perth Links lead Adelaide Lightning by 8 points. Bet Cole and Laurie Chiswick will analyse the first half coming up after the break.
When is an event just an event? When does a moment not matter? The world doesn't stop for anyone. You have to make every minute count. Rugby is live. You like to play hard? We like to play hard too. There to capture the action. Create the moment. Bring your dreams to life. When it matters most. It's all about the people we trust. The people who make it happen. Make sure it's Brightside Live.
Hungry Jack's fried chicken, saucy tenders, crispy, juicy, smothered in 3 delicious sauces. Come on, get a little messy. New saucy tenders, pure happiness at Hungry Jack's.
For a delicious dinner that disappears and lets you squeeze in one more story before bedtime, pick up Latina Fresh, Australia's favourite pasta and sauce. Latina, we got the weeknight. Enjoy. Thanks. Who's that? That guy? He came to Broome in search of pearls. Rumour has it, he got stuck in the suit. You know how hot it gets in Broome. Too hot, even for beer. Then it hit him. Alcoholic ginger beer. Genius. Anyway, that's how Maxo's became famous for flavour. Maxo's unseriously good taste.
At Rio Tinto, we're into many things. Into cutting-edge technology, renewable energy.
Lockridge all the way through.
Lockridge working off the handoff. 1 foot runners down.
Had a great season with Flyers. I did love that season. I was super grateful for the opportunity I got given. But I think, you know, taking that next step to move to Adelaide where I could be the main point guard and try and grow my game in the sense of being a leader and taking that point guard role, and I think that was definitely something that could help me grow my game, and yeah, that was probably one of the biggest reasons that I decided to go to Adelaide.
Looking for support, back to Lockridge, and it goes down.
I feel like I've been trying to work on my whole game, but leadership is trying to be something that I've been trying to add in to make sure, you know, being a point guard on court, that I can be that vocal leader that the team needs. And I think just my whole game in general, just bringing up the intensity in defense, and yeah, just been working on my whole game.
A beautiful pass to Lockridge.
We're just trying to grow the Adelaide Lightning to be what it was. We're trying to get out into the community to make sure that, you know, we can have a great fan base, and we're just trying to, you know, try and get the word out there and get around to the community.
Tight ball game. Lockridge, 2 more.
Each time now that I get to step on the court, I'm super proud and I'm super happy at where I am, and I love basketball, so to be able to do it as a job and, you know, it take me around the country, I think is super special. So I think I'm just super lucky, and I'm grateful each day to go into work and have a great bunch of girls around me as well.
Lockridge. She makes it count.
It's been a breakout season for Dallas. Lockridge averaging the 16 points per game. She's got 10 to halftime here against the Lynx. Her side trails by 8, Perth by 8 at halftime. Jess Webster with you alongside Bet Cole and Laurie Chiswick. A great game of hoops at the moment. Perth on top on the scoreboard, but Adelaide have been doing some nice things.
They sure have. Adelaide threw a couple of punches at the Perth Links, and we heard Chibatoni say that they were forcing them out of their offense, not being able to execute as much. And we see they're not like the Perth Links to shoot at 17% from the 3-point line, but they get into the line 10 from 12 compared to only 2 for the Adelaide Lightning. So it shows that they're being aggressive.
As we take a look at the halftime highlights, Laurie, what have you liked from Adelaide and Perth as well?
Well, I like the fact that Adelaide are continuing to, they're not, you know, lying down. They keep playing. They've played hard for the 20 minutes, which is what the coach asked for them to do. But the other thing is that they've actually shared the ball pretty well, and they've moved it around and executed. And so I've been impressed with what they've done, and the fact that they've taken Perth somewhat out of their comfort zone and taken them so they can't execute as well means that they're trying at least to be really active, proactive on defense and not just sitting back and letting Perth miss shots, because that's dangerous.
Does it help Adelaide that they played Perth at this same venue just a week ago last Friday night?
Well, I think any team, you know, both of them would have made adjustments, but more so adjustments for Adelaide because they went down, and so they would have looked at that and gone, okay, these are where we can make the changes, this is where we can pick up. But if you look at the Blackmores head-to-head there between Annalie Maley and, Ali Wilson, it's not really head-to-head. They're on the same team, but they're going at it hard, and they're sharing the points. Annalie has still got, 7 rebounds, as does Alex Wilson, and so they're both combining really well on the team.
I'm not sure how Adelaide Maley feels about Ali Wilson getting so many rebounds to half-time, but we'll look forward to watching that battle unfold in the second half. Well, at quarter-time, Steph Talbot had a stat line of 0-0-0-0, but in that second quarter, she really came to life, Beck, and she put on 10 points and got herself onto the score sheet and, most importantly, got her side back into the contest.
She sure did. She must have heard me through the other side of the screen, because Talbot is so important to the Adelaide Lightning. She's their experienced vet out there. She's such a versatile player. She can shoot the three like we saw there, but she's so good at getting 2 feet inside the paint. And as we see, she's mixing it up, so it makes it harder to defend. But if she can keep being aggressive on both ends of the floor, it will really help Lightning chip away at that lead.
We spoke about it pre-game as well. Steph Talbot has been guiding her side beautifully, and also Sanaya Fagan, wanting to see more of her in the second half. She just got the 2 points to half-time. So if she can get going in the third quarter, anything can happen from an Adelaide Lightning perspective. So stay with us. We've got a huge second quarter coming up after the break. At half-time, it is Perth 38, leading Adelaide 30.
Hey Perth fans, tonight we have something absolutely special for you. It's 50% off all Hoops Fest tickets. On that QR code on the screen right here, scan it through on your mobile, grab your tickets through the link. 1 ticket gets you entry into the Lynx and Spirit game, a Hungry Jack's NBL Sydney v Brisbane Clash, and festival action, Hoops Fest Fan Zone, the Hoops Fest Cup, and massive sneaker lane events as well. Big stage, big game energy, festival atmosphere, don't miss it. Scan that code now and secure your 50% off tickets.
Doing a fantastic job tonight. Best curls in the DJ world. We've got DJ Dyson and his daughter. Give a round of applause for bringing the beat today. And we're going to do the dance cam. All right, you see yourself on. You dance, yeah. Bit of a hand wiggle. Show us the moves you got. Oh yes, that's 4. 4. Yes, Naya, you should be impressed with that there. All right, girls. There we go. You know it. You know these moves. Well done. Oh, great section. Shout out to the Flames as well. Oh, what do you got, Dad? What do you got? Oh! Back to the early noughties, the club debut. Oh, there it is.
Perth High Performance Centre, where the Perth Links hold an 8-point advantage over the Adelaide Lightning. Great game of hoops unfolding tonight. Hope you're enjoying the coverage wherever you're watching. Jess Webster with you alongside Bet Cole, Laurie Chiswick and Sarah Naikwama courtside for us tonight, who is with a very special guest, the Chief Executive of the Sports Entertainment Network, Craig Hutchinson. Over to you, Sarah.
Thanks, Jess. Firstly, Craig, welcome to Perth. It's so wonderful to have you here. What's been your take so far of today's game day?
Well, first of all, what an amazing atmosphere. This place is jumping. The WNBL is airborne at the moment. Great summer, and hopefully here in Perth we've contributed to it. To see the smiles on faces, the kids, the dancing, the atmosphere, the energy, and a really good first half, right, led by Adelaide, who's been awesome.
Speaking a little bit about SEN's involvement, you are now part owners in the Perth Links as well as the Bendigo Spirit. From your perspective, why is that investment in women's sports so valuable right now?
Well, we really believe in this league, led by Robin and Jenny and Larry and the team. We think it's come a long way. You look at the progress year on year, the brand, hopefully the quality of the broadcast, and you've been a great part of that. And the energy around the sport. It is a wonderful group of athletes. You can see the standard of play here today. We've got Hani's parents here, right there, right next to you from China, who are in town and enjoying watching their daughter. A really competitive season of basketball. It's wide open at the top, and we've really enjoyed being part of it.
And just a quick word on Hanju. You just mentioned her parents are here. From your perspective, she is a Chinese international superstar who has really lit our courts on fire. How have you enjoyed seeing her take on Australia's shores?
Well, amazing player. So you look at her judgment and her passing and shoots the three ball, rebounds, but an even better human being. Great atmosphere. She creates a great atmosphere. Fans love her, but she's also a good human. Got time for everybody, for the fans and for kids, and so that's a pretty rare mix. And look, this sport is really on the move. You look at these grandstands right now next to you, and the atmosphere here, and Harney's been a part of that here. I think the second half of the season is going to be awesome.
Well, Craig, it is so wonderful to have you here. Enjoy the second half, and we look forward to having you back here in Perth for Hibs Fest starting on Thursday.
Thanks, Sarah. Go Lynx.
Back to you, Jess.
Thanks, Sarah, and thank you, Craig, as well for his time. There is Hanshu in action. The fact that her parents have made the trip down under to support Han. As we get the third quarter underway, Perth by 8.
I wonder if they've ever been to Australia before.
And as a player, when you're playing interstate, let alone overseas, it's so special when your parents can come and watch you, because they've been a part of your journey since you were just a baby, a toddler, a teen, whenever you started first dribbling a ball. So super special experience, and like Craig said, the atmosphere there today is unmatched, and good to see Fagan get going early on the other end of the floor.
And that's what they need. Adelaide need a strong start to this third quarter to make sure that they can try and stem this lead, get it back to, a couple of points there and not let Perth get on any sort of roll. Having said that, Alex Ciabattoni, she is not somebody that you want to get her eye in, because as we know, against Adelaide, she has been a prolific scorer.
Averaging 26 in her 3 games against Adelaide this season. Loves playing against the Lightning. Fagan for 3, can't get it done. Rebound to Maley. Wilson lets it fly, rolls out. Fagan with the rebound.
Beck, what are your thoughts on that shot? I think you'll get that shot if you play 20 seconds of offense and move and shift the defense. It wasn't really a transition shot. It really wasn't a fast break shot. What are your thoughts?
I feel like it's hard with Perth, because it's definitely a part of their game that you don't want to take away from them, and when they're dropping, it's great, but when you're sort of in a rut and you need to execute, it sometimes can be too quick in the offense, and then it allows Adelaide to go back down the other end. So I think it's that balance for Perth of having a mix of it, because they do have so many great shooters.
Whitaker has Shu for company, one way then the other. Being Lightning possession. Hayley Martin might have stepped out of court. Going to have a little discussion. Let's another look. Yeah, so Maley did just put her foot on the line.
So because Perth didn't actually get possession of it, the shot clock doesn't reset. It starts now at 7 seconds, which was what was left on the shot clock when Maley tipped and his foot was out of bounds.
They go to Talbot, who kicks it out to Whittaker. Now to Fagan, who pulls the trigger for 3. Gets off target. Great hustle by Whittaker, just didn't quite get possession. Chibitoni. No good on the 3 attempt. Rebound to Talbot. Lovely pass to Lockridge, and she makes the count.
And that's the shot I think you're talking about, Laurie, where it was just dribbling up, Hunt set a screen, and then you pop it up, and because it doesn't go in and it's early in the offense, Lightning are able to go back the other end in transition.
And Adelaide want those easy baskets. That's taking the pressure off them having to play in the quarter court, having to navigate the long athleticism of Perth, and so you're really playing sort of into their hands.
Perth by 5. Atwell. Well defended. Wanted the call, didn't get it. And Adelaide lose it, so possession back to Perth. Coach Aja Paramama having a couple of words to the referees. Wilson to inbound, goes to shoot. Out of Chibitoni. To Atwell from the corner, bounces off the rim. 19% from three-point range, or 18% rather, for Perth. 3 of 17 tonight. Whittaker down the other end is also off target. It's cleaned up by Maley.
A couple of Whittaker shots from the three-point line have all fallen short. They've hit the front of the rim. Whittaker's having a real battle there with Han Shu, being very physical with her, trying to push her off the block, trying to not let her establish position where she wants to.
Whittaker takes a rest on the bench. Toyono into the action. Atwell hands it off to Shu. To Maley to Chibitoni. They share it around. They go back inside to Shu. This is where she does her best work.
That's great execution on that play. Get the ball through hands and find Han Shu, the 6'11", inside the key. It's so hard to guard her. And if she gets double, triple teamed, she's a great passer out of it.
Talbot tried to find a teammate, but it's chopped off by Wilson, who hands it to Chibitoni. Works away inside against Fagan, who blocks her and then runs it down the floor. She loses it. Hard shoot to Chibitoni. This should be easy, and it is.
What about Shu stealing the cookies? Then at the end of an assist, as we see a tech for Coach Aja on that possession, I think she was after a backcourt violation.
Perth 45, Adelaide 36.
Apologies. No, my apologies.
I just want to dance.
Just a little explanation as to why the technical was called, and Aja just explaining what she saw.
Atwell will take the shot. It's out to a 10-point margin.
And I'd like to see Wilson from Perth be the primary ball handler, being some pick and rolls. She's so good coming downhill. And if not, if you have Shu and her, who do you guard in that instinct? And then you have so many other great players like Atwell for shooters, Maley to penetrate at the other end.
Taylor Brazel for 3. It's no good. Can't afford to let this margin creep out any further, Adelaide. Maley has other ideas.
Well, there's our exactly what we talked about, and she nailed that one. And you're right, Beck. That is in their DNA for Perth to take those early shots.
13 points, the margin halfway through this third quarter. Fagan was under pressure, trying to give it to Tofiona. It's out of bounds.
Now that turnover caused by Han Shu helping out in the middle. They're coming over to double, just being tall, just being using her length to make that pass out of the double really difficult.
Wilson over the top to shoot.
Yeah,
that's a great combo.
That's what I'm talking about. They're both so good at what they do, and when they're in pick and rolls together, it is just some pretty basketball.
Well, so fun to watch. Allie Wilson just flicked that up in the air, and Han Shu grabbed it, didn't bring it down anywhere close for anybody to get their hands to it, and just able to finish strongly like she does.
Here's Rabati handing it off to Lockridge. Now to Talbot. Back to Lockridge. Now Talbot works away inside, kicks it out to Fagan. Bumps into Maley, continues to put a head over it. And the reverse, she gets it done in the end.
Well, I give good credit to Annalie Bailey. That was great defense, keeping herself in front of Fagan. But even better for Fagan to continue on, not give up on the shot, and finish.
And the
there we
steal.
see her come up with a steal.
The defensive end. Lockridge feeds that wide open and drains it.
Yes.
And they're back in this contest, the Lightning. And we're heading to a timeout here with 4 minutes and 13 seconds on the clock. The margin is back to 10. 51 plays 41.
A great passage of play, but good pass by Brazel, as we see here on the Amy replay. As Fagan gets that steal, you see wide open Dallas Lockridge, and we know how lethal she is from the three-point line. You cannot give her that much time and space.
To 15 points now for Dallas Lockridge tonight, leading all scorers for Adelaide. Talbot the next best on 10, all coming in the second quarter. And for the Lynx, Ellie Maley up to 17. Chibatoni with the 11. Hanshu also in double digits with 10. Maley also on the cusp of yet another double-double with the 9 rebounds as well. So Coach Aja Paramamar firing off some key messages in this huddle at the moment. 10 points is probably a good place for them to be. It was 8 points at halftime. They've shown, Laurie, that they can match it with Lynx tonight. They've just got to keep their heads in the game and just stay with it for longer.
Well, they do. They have to just, you know, when you're playing a team like Perth, you have to play your absolute best, and Perth has to play just a little bit below their normal to come up with a win. But right now, Adelaide are forcing Perth into a degree of discomfort, which they're not really liking, and then doing a good job on staying calm on the offensive end.
Feel like the margin has to be at single figures for them to feel confident at three-quarter time?
Yeah, definitely single digits would be amazing, but if they can keep it at this 10-point margin, you're definitely still in a chance.
Well, the thing is we know how quickly Perth can pile the points on the board with their running game and their three-point shooting.
A great hustle by Wilson there. Missed the three-point shot, ran all the way back, and got a deflection there to stop the offensive transition from the Lightning.
But right now, Perth are only shooting the three ball at 21%, 4 from 19, so it's not like they're really getting hurt from the outside.
Lockridge to Rabati, hands it to Brazel. Oh, rattles out. There's Maley's 10th rebound. Hands it off to Shu, to Wilson. Back to Maley. Lets it fly!
3 from 3 tonight from Annalie Maley. She's feeling it beyond the arc.
And up to 20 points.
pushes the margin out to 13. Adelaide lose it at their offensive end. Bailey hands it off to Gorman. Rolls out. Talbot with the rebound, can run it down the floor. Fagan needs to get into this contest. That one bounces off the rim. Just 6 points for Sanaya Fagan so far tonight. Only 2 players in double digits. For the Lightning, Lockridge 15, Talbot 10. And Shu takes the rest.
And last time they played, Fagan shot the ball really well from beyond the arc. She hit 3 triples at 33%. Tonight she hasn't been able to hit any, so that's also been a factor because once she hits them, it draws the defenders out and then she's able to attack them on the rim.
It's kicked out of bounds by Morris. Chivatoni checks back into the game. So too Freer and Whitaker for the Lightning. Lockridge to inbound, goes to Whitaker. Free to Talbot. Now back to Lockridge. Nice bucket from Lockridge. Pushes her tally to 17.
Nice step back from Dallas. She's such a crafty guard with the moves she has.
Mailey is feeling it tonight.
See, I like that. I like that. Get the ball in her hands. If she's feeling it, and she certainly is, then give it to her. Give her that opportunity. If she misses, she'll probably get her own rebound.
That runs out from Lockridge and goes out of play. I like that from you, Laurie.
Well, and it's funny
because it's true. Yeah. It's true. It's a new season high too for Adelaide Mailey of 23 points, and we're not done yet. Still plenty of game time to be had. Lockridge steals it away, races away. Steps around Gorman. That's a tough finish.
It really is tough, and she is a short to guard, and she just has so many moves underneath the rim. She's so poised for a person of such young age, and she just works on different moves around the basket, and she, yeah, so skilled.
Mailey this time accelerates. Falls to Lockridge. Into the final minute of the third quarter. Perth by 12. Lockridge looks to go to Talbot. It's been broken up by Mailey. A fumble out of play. Possession back to Adelaide. 23 points, 10 rebounds for Adelaide Mailey. As we approach half-time, Brazil checks into the game. So to Kiara Waite for the Lynx. Adelaide Mailey takes a rest.
23 points. Very well earned rest, yeah.
Whitaker to Talbot. Pulls up for 2, can't get the job done. Chivatoni under pressure over the top to Morris, up against Whitaker. Right, shot rolls in.
What a luxury it is for Hanshu to go off. And then you have someone of the same stature come right off in the bench in Morris.
Final few seconds of the third. Brazil off to Whitaker. Now Freer bounces off the rim. Falls to Talbot. It stays alive for Adelaide on the buzzer. Does it count?
I don't think
yes. No. At three-quarter time, Perth 59 leading Adelaide 45. Final quarter coming up after the break.
Let's get behind them in 3, 2, 1, unflip, and away we go. 40 seconds start. starts now. Make the Northern Star resource older. Yep, start with the words first. I like that. Kind of makes it a little bit easier. Cool. 30 seconds left with Madison and Jane playing for that $100 voucher suspended the Perth Links merchandise store, which is open right now as well. 20 seconds to put a few pieces of the puzzle in line. How we doing? 15 seconds. Oh, time's ticking away. Time's ticking. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I think we've got 4, 3, 2, 2.5, 1 left. Yeah, let's get into it. Give her a ring round of applause, Madison and Jay. They got it. Thanks to Northern Star Resources. $100 merchandise voucher to spend. They get the Perth Airport dancers. Clock was running a bit fast, guys, so let's get us here.
All right, my question is, do you come here tonight to watch or participate in a game of basketball? On your feet, Lynx fans, we got 1 quarter to go. There is 14 points in it. All you got to do is be loud for 10 more minutes. Send your energy down to the ladies. You also get free stuff if you're extra loud. Clap your hands, use your voice. Final quarter to go. Loudest clapper gets freebies. There we go, keep it up.
Three-quarter time at the Perth High Performance Centre. The energy is high in the house tonight. The Perth Links in the box seat to return to the winners list at three-quarter time. They lead the Adelaide Lightning 59-45. Jess Webster with you in commentary tonight alongside two-time champion Bet Cole and former WNBL Coach of the Year, Laurie Chiswick, as we get the final term underway. Perth led by 8 at quarter time, 8 at half time. Extended their margin to 14 as we turn for home. As Hans Shu misfires. Let's head courtside and check in with Sarah Naikwama.
Cheers, yes. I was standing behind the Perth Links huddle and surprisingly it was pretty quiet. I actually wanted to ask a question of Beck Cole, who has been at the heights of the WNBL. At this point of the season, is it fair to say that fatigue is starting to kick in as everyone starts to look towards finals?
Definitely. I think as well, Perth have been on the road a lot lately, a lot of travel, quick games as we see. Atwill getting in on the action here for a nice three-pointer. Good to see that go down. But when it comes to this back end of the season, everyone knows you just have to suck it up. You have to be so crucial and ingrained in your recovery, what you're eating, sleeping, looking after your bodies, and knowing every team is going through the same thing. But definitely both teams looking a little bit tired. But again, as we see here on the Amy replay, Amy Atwell getting a triple.
How many times have we said that so far this season? But here she is again on cue, not quite the same result, but Chippy Tony cleans it up.
And on that note, what Sarah was asking is, Perth have had the luxury of having some big wins out there. So they actually only have one player in Annalene Maley who has played over 30 minutes a game, averaging 32. So everybody else has played less than that. So that's really good player management on the for Ryan Petrick and his team.
Well, Hoops Fest tips off in Perth next week on Thursday. See all the NBL and WNBL teams do battle at RAC Arena. Australasia's biggest basketball culture and lifestyle festival will once again take over WA with all the big stars, including Bryce Cotton over there as well, plus NBA legend Allen Iverson. Get your tickets now by scanning the QR code or visiting hoopsfest.com.au. Talbot hands it off. That's a big bucket in the context of the game for Adelaide, thanks to Maddie Freer. Wilson out to Maley. They work it into the corner for Chibatoni. Can't return serve. Atwell fighting hard for the rebound, but coughs it up. Talbot runs away, goes all the way herself.
Talbot was kept quiet in that third quarter. She had 0 points quarter time, 10 points in that second quarter, still 10 points at the end of the third, so good to see her getting going in the fourth.
Hudgens stands at 14. Talbot hands it off to Rabati. Oh, gets the unfortunate roll if you're an Adelaide fan. Bailey, 23 points, 11 rebounds. Still 7 minutes left. Cibertoni looks to make a move, hands it off to Bailey. She gets fouled.
Selfies and signings after the game. Blocks 2, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Gonna be your favourite Lynx players. Stick around after the game.
Adelaide Bailey has virtually played all but 3 minutes of this game, and she still competes. She still goes hard every single time. What a player to have on your team.
Averaging 14 points, 14 rebounds a game, but tonight is the 4th time she has scored 20 points or more in a game, and it's currently her season best. 25 points for Adelaide Bailey tonight.
25 points.
Just the 9 against the Caps last week in their 3-point loss for Bailey. So perhaps keen to atone. She's done it in a big way tonight. 3 for 2. It's no good. Guess what? Another rebound to Bailey. Margin is 16. Wilson tried to pop it into the vicinity of Hanshu, but he was well read by the Adelaide defense. Normally it's a good strategy. Lockridge, no good for 3. Fagan. This is the first attempt, gets it done on the second, and the contact.
And waited for Fagan just to keep going in that possession. Not give up after she missed the first shot, second shot, but third time lucky.
See how GTV, Lynx fans. What do you got?
Averages 17 points, 6 rebounds a game, 83% free throw shooter. Completes the 3-point play, keeps Adelaide in it. Oh, Wilson's okay. We do know she had a broken nose earlier in the season.
Ali Wilson back on her feet.
She looks okay.
And I like the pressure by the Adelaide Lightning to be up in a press, down 13 points. You need to get the ball back, but just a bit too physical on that possession there.
Bailey and Wilson share it around. Now a sweeping pass to Cibertoni. Can't get it done. Fighting hard for the rebound. It falls to Shu. Now to Atwell, who was screaming for it, says, "Give it to me!" Didn't get the finish. Fagan with a rebound. Lockridge to Fagan. Needs this one to drop. It doesn't. Bailey over the top to Shu.
Oh,
Puts it up and in.
How do you defend that? Just a turnaround jump shot from somebody that's 211 centimeters.
You don't. You try your hardest, and that's what's so impressive with Shu. You said it earlier, Laurie. Her touch for someone of her height, yes, around the basket, but it goes to the mid-range. It goes to the 3-point line. It's so impressive, and we're so lucky that we get to see someone with the likes of Hanshu in the WNBL.
Well, she's really a global superstar, and I've loved watching her development over the years, especially in the Asia Cup, playing with China, going from a younger player that couldn't move that well to somebody that's so versatile. But talk about moving well, Ali Wilson. But Hanshu has just continued to develop, and she's actually really agile for somebody her size.
And she's always a fan favorite.
Yeah.
She was with the New York Liberty in the WNBA. She would hit the court. she would make a shot, whether it be inside the paint or then she would be hitting a three and the crowd would go wild.
Yeah.
And it shows not only is she a great athlete, but it's the personality and a great human that she is that really draws in these fans.
5 minutes left at the Perth High Performance Centre. Lynx up by 17. Brazel gets a bucket.
So one thing I think that and I'm not really seeing it with Perth, although Adelaide have scored only 55 points, is that they need to be sharpening up on their defensive principles. When they are playing some of the, top teams in, say, Bendigo or Townsville, that they have got to be so precise in their defensive rules to be able to stop those teams. And right now, I'm not really seeing that.
They get harassed by multiple Lynx players. Work it to Morris. Draws the foul. So Perth, as we were talking earlier about how tough the travel demands are, they finish off their season, including tonight. 4 of the last 7 are at home. So next round's massive for Perth. They take on and they host both Bendigo and Townsville in round 14.
Oh, that'll be great.
So 2 massive games to come. They've got consecutive away trips to Sydney, Melbourne to take on the Flyers, then Bendigo in round 16 before finishing off their season against Sydney.
If you haven't grabbed your tickets for Hoop Fest, make sure you circle it in your calendar. You prepare and buy your microwave popcorn because you'll be wanting to watch it from home. They're going to be such good games that we have coming up.
Timeout here in the last 4 minutes, 25 seconds on the clock. Perth 72, Adelaide 55. The margin has crept out to 17 points. It was 14 at three-quarter time. So this is the challenge for Adelaide. So we take a look at the next 4. We've got Sydney at home next week, an away trip against the Flyers. Cats at home, Geelong away. So they'll be circling a few of those games and thinking we can maybe challenge these sides. The problem and the question that's been for Adelaide all season is can they do it for 4 quarters? So I feel like Coach Aja Paramamar, if nothing else, if they don't walk away from the win tonight, the next 4.5 minutes, she just wants to see effort.
Well, that's the thing, is that it doesn't matter. And I think I said this earlier, that as long as you play hard, you can hold your head high up at the end of the game. And she will be imploring her players in the last 4.5 minutes to do exactly that. Go out with a fight, regardless of the scoreline. Keep fighting. Make Perth have to earn every single point that they put on the board.
Speak about tough runs. 4 of Adelaide's last 4 games have been against top 2 sides, or top 3 sides. So since their first game in round 11, they've played Perth 3 times, Townsville once. Getting some good experience against the competition's best in the last few weeks. Lockridge, and off the glass for 3.
That's her second bank shot in today's game.
Well, Lockridge is in one of these, is in the mix for, we've been talking about point guards and Australian point guards, and I know she didn't make the Opal squad, but she's just so close to being in that conversation with Rotchi, with Ellis, with Melbourne, and the season that she's having, it's just, it really bodes well for her in the future.
Chibatoni with the finish and the extras. We head downstairs to Sarah, who was around the Adelaide huddle at that last time out. Sarah, what were the key messages?
The key message was play for the fouls. Now, as a rugby girlie, I don't really understand that. So, Laurie, I'm going to need your help in really breaking down what play for the fouls means in the last 3 minutes of this match.
Well, it means you want to try and attack and get yourself to the line. Don't take a backward step. Don't fade. Just go strong after it. Try to be aggressive and draw the fouls.
Fagan, nice finish for 2. She's on double-double watch with 11 points and 9 rebounds. Just over 3 minutes to go in this contest. Perth in control. Morris to Gorman. Works the perimeter. Hands it off to Graham. Now they get the open look through Chibatoni. Morris with a rebound. Can't get the finish. Lockridge takes it away. Talbot. Fagan up against Morris. Hands it off to Talbot. Nicely done.
Great cut off the ball. We saw Fagan get it nice in the post and a great dish to Talbot on the run for an easy bucket.
Adelaide defense trying to put the pressure on. Fight right to the end. Morris. It's Fagan for company. To Gorman. Bailey's shot clock expires.
That was a good defensive possession there by the Adelaide Lightning. If they can get a couple more of them in a row and then execute down the other end of the floor, they'll be looking in good shape.
Well, in round 12, they went down to Perth by 19 points, 93-75. So, you know, if they can keep this, lose by a less amount, and I've been impressed with how they've gone about it today.
Gorman fires for three, rolls in.
3-point shootout here to end the quarter.
Talbot hands it off to Lockridge. 25 points for Dallas tonight. Steps away through, bounces off the rim. And it goes out of bounds, so it'll remain with Adelaide.
For Lynx, give it up for Morris as he comes off.
As Perth runs the changes on the bench. Maley takes a break.
What a game for Maley. 25 points, 12 rebounds, shooting the ball at 58%. Really great, great game by her.
Come on, here we go.
Lockridge goes to Talbot, fires for three, bounces off the rim, the rebound to Atwell, hands it off to Chibatoni, races away, works away inside.
Nice.
Oh.
It's the right idea. You can see the parents there. I'm glad Han Shu got back on the court. If her parents have come all the way from China, they need to see her play.
Steph Talbot hands it off to Fagan. Just overshot it. Final minute here. Perth's 7-game winning streak came to an end at the hands of the Caps last week, but they've responded in style on their home floor tonight. Atwell into the corner for the finishing touches to Chibatoni, no good. But Atwell wins it back. Throws it up, it's no good. But it looks like...
I think they've called a foul on Fagan on the Atwell 3-point shot.
Which is a coach killer. Amy Atwell tonight, 8 points, 4 rebounds. She finds herself at the line.
83% foul shooters. Amy Atwell, very reliable from the line.
Hell yeah! Back on! Keep clapping!
Final 30 seconds. Strawbridge under immense pressure. Shu with the rebound, hands it off to Atwell. Still hungry. There's some more buckets here, Perth. Atwell now looks to make a move. She decides to go for it herself and bounces off the rim. Talbot. No good. And that'll do us at the Perth High Performance Centre. The Perth Links bounce back in style tonight. They run out 15-point winners against the Adelaide Lightning, 80-65. 11 led by 8 at quarter time, the same margin at half time. They grew it to 14 at 3/4 time. And they steadied in the last to return to the winners list and stay in the hunt for a top 2 finish in this WNBL season. And they will remain at home for the next couple of matches. A massive round 14 to come for Perth next week when they host Bendigo and Townsville. That's really going to shape the top 2 as we head towards the finals in a few weeks' time.
Perth were just great tonight. Again, doing it by committee on the offensive end. Multiple players in double figures. Obviously, the standout was Maley with the 25 points and the 12 rebounds. But Chibatoni, 16, Shu, 12, Wilson, 10, Atwell, 10. You can't ask for much more in a team game that just everyone is involved.
Well, all their starters, again, as they have done all season, scored in double figures. So who do you guard? How do you stop different things? And that's the thing about Perth, is that they're very well balanced. They are good with their rebounding, with the best rebounder in the competition in Adelaide Lightning. And they just do a great job. But yes, they will certainly be tested next weekend.
Let's head courtside to Sarah Nakwama, who is with our player of the match. A new season high for Adelaide Lightning tonight, 25 points. Over to you, Sarah.
Adelaide, firstly, congratulations. What a performance. What's your initial feeling and reaction to tonight's win?
You know, like coming off a loss, it's always kind of easy to go into like that slump and go internal. We had a really good couple days of training, and really proud of the way we came out and fought. There's still so many things we can learn from that, and Adelaide really pushed us in a lot of ways. So yeah, lots of positive things to come out of tonight.
It was definitely a seesawing kind of match. You said last week in your press conference that you wanted to see the Lynx start with intensity. Do you believe that you got that response tonight?
I don't think so. I think our first quarters aren't great yet. We're definitely getting better game by game. There's a couple of habits that I'd really like us to clean up. But we don't want to be playing our best basketball right now, you know, like we'll save that for later on. But yeah, it's a lot of really, really positive things we can take out of it that we need to work on. Like we might see them as negatives in the moment, but we can change them. Lots of fixable things, yeah.
Yeah, there's certainly still time to turn the tide. For yourself, you had a season best game, scoring 25 points tonight. When I look at you, you are a player that brings the intensity week in and week out. You never waver. What is it that allows you to bring that intensity every week?
I just try really, really, really hard. And I think that's something, like sometimes the points don't fall, sometimes the shot doesn't work, but I will always try my hardest, and that's something I kind of hang my hat on. So I try hard for the girls, you know, that's who I play for. I play for baby me, I play for Ryan, you know, all of those things, like it's my why, it's why, because I don't see the point of coming out and playing any other way. I think that even if the stats don't show it, and the rebounds don't fall, shots don't fall, if I walk up the court knowing that I tried my hardest, then it's a win for me, yeah.
Well, you definitely wear your heart on your sleeve, and it is so evident. Tonight, you are our player of the match. And just lastly, as we look ahead to Hoops Fest starting on Thursday, are you excited to see all of this WNBL action come to Perth shores?
Yeah, oh my God, P City is the best place on earth. P City's where it's at. P City. Perth is amazing. The basketball community here is great. I'm so excited for people that traditionally come and watch NBL games to come and watch the WNBL, and vice versa. Like, it's a basketball cultural event. You're going to see so many, like street ball, so much skating, street art, all that stuff, and all while the sun's shining and the West is best, you know? So I'm really excited for everyone to get out here.
You're like the Western Australian ambassador. We love it to see it. Well, congratulations again on being tonight's player of the match. Enjoy this win, and we look forward to seeing you go again.
Thank you so much. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers, girl.
She's an absolute star and speaks so beautifully as well. Let's take a closer look at Adelaide Lighting's highlights tonight. 25 points, 12 rebounds, and a couple of steals. I would love to know, Beck, where she gets her energy from.
She is an energizer bunny. I feel like she has about 20 AAA batteries in her backpack, because she just goes and goes and goes. And I think she just says it best, hearing her after the game saying if she knows that she's tried her hardest and she does it for the people around her and her young Maley self, she can leave happy. And tonight, it says it all there. Great shooting percentage, 7 from 12 from the field with 25 points, 12 rebounds, and a nice 2 steals, and a cheeky 100% from the three-point line, 4 from 4. So just a great leader that Perth have on their team.
The fourth time Adelaide Lightning has scored 20 or more points in a game so far this season. And if you haven't got your tickets to Hoops Fest, I think Adelaide Lightning has just maybe sold a few extras as we head courtside back to Sarah, who's with the Adelaide skipper in Steph Talbot.
Steph, that's a really tough one to swallow. What's your initial reaction?
Yeah, I think we had some good patches and some not so good patches. They're a good team, and every time we kind of clawed it back, they made a run. But at the end of the day, you're not going to win many games scoring 65 points, so that's probably something we have to work on.
For yourself, you are a veteran of this side. You really lead from the front. You have the likes of Lockridge, who sits behind you very nicely, but she's certainly starting to shine throughout this season. What is it like to be able to play with her week in and week out, and for her to produce that regardless of the score on the board?
Yeah, I love watching her grow, watching her work every week. She's just getting better and better. She's a real scoring threat, and she's fun to play with.
At this point for Adelaide Lightning, it has been a mixed campaign so far, but the door is still open and finals are still in sight. Is that something that you and the team are looking steadily towards?
Yeah, definitely. I think we made it hard for ourselves, but we know we're still capable. I think that was our last game against a top 3 team, so we could really have a good home stretch here if we can put our stuff together.
And just lastly, as we now set our sights to your next match on Tuesday night, what are you hoping are maybe even just 2 things that this team can turn around to get on the right side of the ledger?
Yeah, I think just execution for 40 minutes. We have patches of good basketball, but we don't do it for the full 40 minutes.
Down, but you're not out. All the best for your travels back home, and we look forward to seeing you again in action.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, Steph.
See ya.
Thanks to Sarah and Steph Talbot. Adelaide Lightning back in action on Tuesday night against the Flames. This is Steph's highlights from tonight. She was scoreless at quarter time. She scored 10 points in the second quarter to get her side back in, and this is the kind of leadership that we've known to come and love from Steph Talbot. Just unfortunately, they just couldn't get the job done in the end.
Well, she didn't, and again, she needs to have consistency. She talked about her team for 4 quarters. Well, nothing in the first quarter, 10 the second quarter, nothing in the third quarter. So between herself demanding the ball and her teammates looking for her, she just needs the ball in her hands a little bit more and to be able to score and to bring what she can to this team.
Well, Han Shu had another great game, 12.7 rebounds and a couple of assists, a couple of steals as well, a block to throw in it as well. But most importantly, her parents were in the house tonight cheering her on from the sidelines. So let's head courtside because Sarah Naikwama is with one of the WNBL's biggest ever imports, Han Shu. Take it away, Sarah.
Cheers, Jess. Han, congratulations on the win. Are you happy to get a win tonight after last week's loss?
Yeah, last week, but we keep our energy, whatever the game happens. And today we show our aggressive and tough game. We come back, yeah.
How's your body? Last week you had a huge outing, scored 20+ points. Tonight again you put 12 points on the board. How is your game feeling here in Australia now? Do you feel settled?
I feel I'm good because the coaches like us have a good rest, and I'm just do some ice pass and treatment. I try to be more professional and take care of myself, so I need to have a good game.
And just lastly, I know you have some very special guests. Your mum and dad are in the crowd tonight. How wonderful is it to have mum and dad standing on the court side for you tonight?
Yeah, they watch me. They watch my game a lot of time in China and in America before, but this is the first time they come to watch my game in Australia, and I'm very excited. And they are too. They love this city, they love this country, and they love my team and my fans, everything, yeah.
Well, Perth loves you and your family. Have you taken them to the beach, taken them to the best Perth cafes? Have you taken them around a little bit yet?
No, yeah, last week we are busy, yeah, again. So, but maybe tomorrow I will take them to watch the beach, watch the sea. Yeah, very excited.
Well, Han, it's always wonderful to watch you in action. Congratulations on the win tonight, and we'll see you again next week.
Thank you. See you again.
Oh, beautiful stuff. Thanks, Sarah, and thanks so much to Han Shu as well. Great to see her parents supporting her tonight. And their first ever trip to Australia, and they got to see Han and the Perth Links get a win.
It's just so nice whenever your family can be with you, watch you play, again, in another country where you can experience a new culture, her new team, meet new faces. It's such a wonderful experience for everyone involved, and how great that they got the win here tonight on their home floor with her parents in the crowd.
Well, there's nothing like watching live. So she said her parents have been watching her when she played in America. They've been watching games from here because you can see things worldwide, but there is nothing like being courtside and watching your children or whoever it is playing live and at the venue.
And great atmosphere as well at the Perth High Performance Centre. So a great night for Hanju, her family and the Lynx as well. They beat Adelaide Lightning by 15 points. Back in a moment for more. Stay with us. Perth by 15 over the Adelaide tonight. They returned to winners list in style. They extended their lead at every change to continue on the hunt for a top 2 finish. Jess Webster with you alongside Beck Cole and Laurie Chiswick. These are the key match stats at the end of the game. Perth by 15. They've been in third position most of the season, the Perth Links. They have a massive round 14 coming up with Hoops Fest starting next Thursday. They host both Bendigo and Townsville, 2 massive blockbuster clashes next week. Do you see Perth finishing in the top 2 at season's end?
I cannot even call it right now. I think the top 3 teams have all just had upset games, so it shows that they're not playing their best basketball right now, but they don't need to be. They need to in February. But I think Perth, they're one of the hot teams right now, and I think that they could make that top 2.
What do you think, Laurie?
Well, I agree, and I really like the sentiment of Annalie Maley, where she said, you know, there's lots of things to fix up, but we don't really necessarily want to be playing our best basketball right now and peaking. So, as you said, Beck, if they can be, put all the pieces together, but it's so hard between those three teams to pick how. I mean, it's the top two get home court advantage, but really it's the top one team that's important because they play the fourth place team.
Adelaide Lightning's comments were interesting when she said she didn't like their first quarter. They scored 20 points. Their next two quarters, 18-19, they finished with 21 in the last. And Adelaide scored 12 points in the opening quarter, and that was their lowest quarter time throughout the match. So what do you think she meant when she said they didn't like the opening quarter?
Maybe on defense they were happy with it, but on offense maybe she thought they could have executed well, whether that was not shooting the ball as quick. But like Laurie and I spoke about, it's just a balance with Perth. You don't want to take away that part of their game because they are prolific outside shooters, but then also getting the ball inside to the likes of Hanshu and Morris.
And the thing is, Jess, you want to be developing habits. So you don't want to change and play a certain way against Adelaide and come out a certain way against Canberra. You have to have habits, so it's habitual. Whatever, you're going to start off the same way. You've got different strategies depending on who that you're playing, but you want to come out with consistent energy, consistent defensive rules. And so heading to the top end of the season, the pointy end of the season, you want those habits in place.
Adelaide Mayley top scored with 25 points for the Perth Links. So too did Dallas Lockridge for the Adelaide Lightning. She's been one of the bright sparks for her side all season. Beck and Laurie, how impressed are the both of you with the campaign that she's put together this season?
I'm not surprised. Dallas was my teammate at the Southside Flyers, and she's always an athlete who is working on her craft. During team trainings, but also when nobody's watching behind closed doors. So to see her come into this new role of being that general in that point guard position, bringing on her leadership, she's definitely up there for Breakout Player of the Year, and her stats are showing it.
I think that's a pretty good shout out to Dallas Lockridge, 21 years of age. These are her key stats for tonight. Laurie, in their run home, they've got 6 games left, Adelaide, none against the top 3. So Sydney Flyers, Caps, Geelong, and then back-to-back games against the Flyers to finish off. Do you see them sneaking another win or two in the run home?
Well, they would hope so. They would certainly hope that they are, they're done with those top teams. So now let's try and string some good quarters together, some halves, some games, and see if they can finish. The ideal for everybody is to finish, if you're not going to make the top 4, get that 5th place spot. So that's what they would be aiming. And I think they would look at the teams and the outs from the other teams, from say Canberra, from Sydney now with Lauren Nicholson, that they would be in with a chance.
This is the Bunnings Warehouse ladder. As it stands, Bendigo on top, Perth in 3rd position, Townsville in 2nd. So a few massive games coming up between those sides in round 14, and the race for 4th continues to heat up. Flyers on 4th position, the Caps on 5th. So a strong win to the Perth Links tonight. Round 13, of course, the Bendigo Spirit game against our side Melbourne Flyers was postponed last night, so we wait to see when that game's going to be played, because that also has massive ramifications on the ladder as well. But tomorrow's a massive game between the Flyers and the Fire. Tonight, it was the Perth Links who got the job done. They returned to the winners list in front of their home fans, and they beat the Adelaide Lightning by 15 points. Good night.